Hello YouTube, this is Darkon633. I'm back with another Star Wars review. Today we're going to take a look at the Star Wars 6-inch black series, First Order Stormtrooper Executioner. Now this is actually a Target exclusive that was originally released during Force Friday this year, but from what I could tell, it was kind of hard to get a hold of because of the fact it is an exclusive at the store, and it's also because it's an army builder. Now this particular version of the Trooper was not featured in The Force Awakens, but from what I could tell, will be featured, at least at some point, in Star Wars Episode VIII, The Last Jedi. Anyways, we're going to take a look at the box. The box is in the standard 6-inch black series design. It has a picture of the Executioner there. Has the name there as usual. It is an exclusive, so it no longer has any numbers attached to it, and it has a bio on the back as normal. So it's pretty standard. Now, we're going to take a look at the figure itself. The figure only includes one accessory, and that is the actual kind of electric weapon, which has some really cool effects actually. I really enjoy what Hasbro's done for the design of the weapon itself. One thing I do not like about it though is that the actual stick that is attached to it is extremely gummy. I wish this was made of a little harder plastic, since because of that it just warps really badly and it looked kind of worse out of the box, and that's really unfortunate. These pieces are articulated, although unfortunately for what I could tell, this piece did pop off on me a couple times, and it was kind of a pain to put back on. But these pieces are articulated, and the actual electric pieces are removable for what I can tell, since I did manage to actually remove them, but that's why this piece kept popping up. So your best bet is to not do that, since it's probably just going to cause problems. For what I can tell, you can close it if you remove the electric parts and keep it in a closed formation, but I'm not going to be doing that since that piece is just going to keep popping off if I do so. You can, obviously, allow the figure to hold it with one hand, though, and that's really nice that you can actually do that. And in some photos I've seen online, sometimes they actually do hold it with just one hand. Anyways, we're actually going to take the weapon off to the side for a minute as we look towards the articulation. If you have the First Order Stormtrooper in the 6-inch black series scale, you're not going to really get any other different points of articulation since it's overall the same design. The head is on a ball joint, with good movement, with no restrictions. It does have ball joints at the shoulders, with some really good movement. Ball joints at the elbows, which also allows a just under 90 degrees of pivot there. It has fully jointed wrists with a good range of movement. It has a single waist joint on top. It doesn't have another waist joint actually on the lower part of the abdomen. Trying to get the camera to focus since it seems to be having some problems focusing all of a sudden. So now, it has full joints at the hips with a little bit of restriction because once again the leg pieces do bump into the belt pieces a bit. It does have forward and backward movement. Double joints at the knees, which are really nice. And fully jointed ankles. So you're going to have a lot of articulation even if the overall sculpt is about the same as a First Order Stormtrooper. The major differences in design is just the different markings and just the paint job that the particular trooper has. Otherwise, it's pretty much the same mold. It even has the point that it does have the area where you can actually attach the secondary weapon, although he actually does not include one, so I think it was a little better off if it just filled it in, since it's not like he's really going to be needing that for any reason. Anyways, we're going to take a comparison between this particular trooper and some of the older troopers they released in the line. And with this, another trooper is now added to the First Order ranks. It's really nice that Hasbro has made a variety of different 6-inch black series troopers, especially if you've been collecting up to this point, and it looks like they'll be continuing to release other variants of the troopers in the future as well. I think he looks really nice next to the other releases, and it's definitely a really cool figure to have in your collection alongside the other troopers. So, I highly recommend picking up this figure, since even though the overall sculpt is about the same you'll get from the standard First Order Stormtrooper, the weapon is really nice, and he looks really nice as well next to the other troopers in general. I got this thanks to my friend Sound.12, since my area has not yet even received this figure for what I could tell, or it was already sold out by the time I got to Force Friday. Anyways, please comment and subscribe and check out Hero Club and Hero Taku. Also check me on Twitter, Darkon633, and don't forget to check down the other channels down below. Please check the little bell at the bottom of the screen in order to see my content go up as soon as possible. And back on more Star Wars reviews, but for now, I'll be seeing you later, YouTube. Bye.